Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I am Protomario, and today we're reviewing Generation NEX, the remastered NES released by Messiah Entertainment Inc. It is a very interesting remodeling of the NES, and it works with almost every single NES game out there. I picked this up initially from a specialty shop that sells action figures to DVDs to keychains to almost anything else you could ever need, and it was very, very cheap, $50. At the time that was a bit expensive, but now it is much more expensive to acquire one of these. This is one of the rare systems on the market, and it can run from $100 to $120 now. Prices can vary on different sites. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. This is the Generation NEX NES, and I originally did review this very early on in my YouTube career, but I wanted to revisit it because when I originally reviewed it, I pretty much had no idea what I was doing. It was a shot in the dark, and I saw this, and I said, hey, this is a cool system I got. A lot of people don't know about it, so let's review it. But now I know a lot more, and I know what I'm doing. So, alright. Let's jump into it as I stated. The Generation NEX front here is not just for decoration. This is actually where you put your NES carts. The only problem with this system itself, and the one true flaw with it that really kills it for me, is that the carts lock in so securely that they almost never fail. You might be saying to yourself, why would this be a bad thing? Well, let me explain. When you have to lift the system up and pretty much hold on to it with a death grip to get rid of your NES game and switch it out for another one, it tends to get very annoying quickly. Having said that, whenever you put a game into it, it will work. If the game doesn't work, more than likely, as in 99% of the time, it's the game and not the system itself. So, there's a few key differences with the front side of this instead of the NES. If you haven't seen the NES review I did, I suggest you go over and have a look at it. It's a pretty short review, 10 minutes long, and it'll explain what the NES is. If you have no idea what the NES is, then I'm pretty much talking for no reason, but I think almost everyone does know what the NES is. So let's look at the key differences here. While it does have some similarities, such as the controller ports, that's about where the similarities end. There is no tray that you open. Now it's a push-in tray with spring action to keep the door and dust cover shut. The Generation NEX replaces the NES logo, and though this is an officially licensed piece of material from Nintendo, it's not exactly marketed or advertised, so it's not overhyped. A lot of people do like it, however, it is not, it's just not marketed as anything large right now. On the front, it does have the two similar controller ports, which means you can plug in one of these suckers if you happen to have a zapper or anything else, and you can play your zapper with it. Another difference is that over on the right side here, you can see that this actually is a wireless logo. I don't know if you can see it that well, but this allows for wireless controllers. A great addition to any Nintendo, because those wires do get into the way sometimes, don't they? Yes, the wireless controllers are not exactly the best, but I don't really think reviewing the controller is enough reason to pull it up and show it to you. It's pretty much the same controller with a circular D-pad, much like the 3DS, but the D-pad's not as good. And yeah, that's about it. It's an okay controller, but since they have these plugs, you can just plug in your old controllers and get an old style controller and play it with that if you hate the controllers, which is a 100% plus for this. One other key difference is you'll note that there is no power and reset button on the front, but rather on top. Yes, that's right, they are on top right here with the vents that happen to vent nothing, and this just aesthetically looks like the Nintendo. Again, here's the power button. You press it in to turn it on, you press it in to turn it off. Reset, reset, too easy. A little bit further up on the top here, I'll grab my control and grab the camera and move it up here. This is where the Famicom cartridges will go if you happen to have any Famicom cartridges. But good luck, because most of them are in Japanese, so you probably won't know what they're saying. Hopefully you'll just know what to do if you happen to have some. On the right and the left side, there's not really much here except for the wireless on-off switch. You don't need to turn the wireless on if you don't want it on, just if it happens to interrupt anything. On the bottom side, you can see what company made this. Generation NEX video game console, NTSC model number MO83. This device compiles with part of blah 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 blah. Just some legal information. So this isn't an illegal device, and it is officially licensed. Turning it to the back side, you can see we have actual stereo jacks. Now do take note that the NES is not in stereo, so it can only simulate stereo. It can just break it up and make it sound like it, but it is not stereo. However, this is just a nice addition, as well as if you just don't happen to have a coaxial or don't know how to use a coaxial because you weren't born in that age, you have the video port right here. It also comes with connection cables, so that's no problem. The charger takes a significantly less amount of voltage that the original does, and it is a much smaller charger. So it's pretty nice to have this rather than the old fat gray NES, but if you have both, more power to you. Overall, this is one of the better consoles that you can pick up, one of the better renditions. I've reviewed several other consoles, and I've seen many other consoles, including some ROM generators. I've seen ROMs on the computer. I have a PSP that plays ROMs. You know, it's all great and good, and it's not illegal if you own the game, but it's just not the same experience unless you have the game system right in front of you, and you're doing it. So guys, I'm Protomario, and I'm signing out, and this is the Generation NEX NES revision console. It looks almost the same, which makes it look nice. It's not a gaudy, purple, weird plastic mutilation. It really does look nice, and it would look great on your shelf too if you happen to actually get one, acquire one, or if you're wanting to purchase one anytime soon. This is a great way to get your old NES gaming fix in. I'm Protomario, and I'm signing out. Hey guys, if you like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe. Subscribe more than thumbsing up would help me a lot more, but giving me a little thumbs up tells me you enjoyed the video, and it lets other people see that you enjoyed my video, so that means more viewers potentially. If you like this video, I've got plenty more. Just go ahead and check my playlist out, and I would appreciate the views. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming, guys.